Thinking of getting your first private property in Singapore? Here are some things for you to watch out for. So firstly, kudos to all of you for considering the private market, because the private market tends to move faster than the HDB market in Singapore. So as per this trend chart, you can see that the appreciation is a lot more. So that way your wealth is well protected. Now, we always believe that planning is the first step, which is why we try to get our client to the starting line ASAP. And that's what we are here for, to share with you more information to get you there as well. So these are the three numbers that you must know for private property, whether it's resale or new launches: 5, 20, and 75. So 5% is usually the down payment that you need in cash. 20% will be the amount in CPF or cash if you have insufficient CPF. So 75% is for loan. Usually this depends very much on your income, your age, as well as the loan tenure that you plan to take. Now, we usually recommend a mortgage broker to help you with this. The reason why is because usually they can compare loan packages across different banks, share with you what's the interest, what's the exit clause, what's the waivers that you get to enjoy based on the different package combinations. So if you like a recommendation, feel free to PM us for our contact. Now, the second thing you want to watch out for is stamp duty. It is typically between 3% to around 4% of the total purchase price. Now, this is the exact breakdown in terms of calculation, so you can refer to this formula. So for example, if you're looking at a $2 million property, the stamp duty that you'll be looking at will be about $69,600. Now, you need to have this amount in cash first before you can actually get a refund from your CPF to use your CPF for the stamp duty. As for the foreign buyers, whether you're PR or a foreigner living in Singapore trying to get out of your rental market, trying to build your wealth here, well, these are some of the additional costs that you have to look at. It's called additional buyer stamp duty. For PRs, for the very first property that you purchase here, there's an additional 5% tax. It may seem like quite a lot of taxes for buying a property in Singapore, but for our buyers who trusted us, we were able to help them gain back this amount within 1 year of purchasing their property in Singapore. So there are still some opportunities in the market even in 2025. So if you like some recommendations, feel free to reach out to us. Now, as for foreigners, the additional buyer stamp duty is 60%. For some buyers, they don't think that this is a really big deal because 60% is based on purchase price, versus in their country, they actually are hit by tax such as capital gain tax or even inheritance tax based on the sale price at that point of time. Finally, we want to look at the smaller fees, which are the legal fees as well as valuation fees. So legal fees can range between $2,800 to $3,500 depending on whether you're buying a resale or new launch. And then for valuation, usually it's about $500 to $600. So for those of you who are considering new launches, this is the difference between a new launch as well as a resale payment timeline. So just so that you understand, when do you have to have certain cash put aside and when will certain payments be required. Otherwise, the cost for a new launch and a resale is more or less the same. The only thing you have to watch out for is that legal fees will be higher for new launches and also the interest rate for your mortgage. But why do people pick new launches then? Well, because for new launches, the buyers is able to do something called progressive payment. So that means when the building is built to a certain level, that's where the loan is being dispersed and that's where they start paying the mortgage. So for example, a $2 million property, if we are at the foundation stage and assuming that you're taking a 25 years loan at the prevailing interest rate of about 3.3%, then you're looking at paying only about $400 plus per month for 6 months until the next stage. So progressively, the payments will keep increasing over the years until you collect your keys. The full mortgage will only kick in 1 year after key collection, which is known as the TOP. So the same goes for executive condos as well, and there's actually quite a number of launches coming up in 2025, so quite an exciting year. Hit us up if you want to find out which one is a good buy. So the last major thing that you want to watch out for is really the mortgage repayments. So just now we ran through a little bit on terms of the new launch timeline as well as the payments that you'll be making. Of course, we have an entire line in terms of, every 6 months, every 12 months, roughly what you'll be looking at paying. But for resale-wise, it's completely different. So the moment that you purchase a resale, the entire loan kicks in. So using the same example of a $2 million property, assuming 25 years loan period, and of course the interest rate of about 2.6%, then what we're looking at is about $6,905 per month in terms of mortgage. Now that is the total mortgage that you pay. So let's say if you and your partner are both contributing to CPF let's say for example in total you're contributing $2,400 per month, you can actually use that amount to offset the amount that you have to pay for mortgage. So the amount that you have to pay upfront for cash in terms of your mortgage would be about $4,000 per month. There are also costs involved in terms of private property after you purchase. So this does not apply for new launches, because for new launch, property tax as well as maintenance costs do not kick in until you have collected the keys. So for resale-wise, property tax would be based on the annual value. So this annual value of the property you can actually find out on the IRS website. If you're in the midst of purchasing, you can actually ask the seller how much they're paying for property tax. Now, property tax also differs in terms of owner-occupied versus non-owner-occupied. So non-owner-occupied, because you're renting out to someone, then of course the cost for property tax would be higher. Then as for maintenance fees for a private property, it depends on the size of the property that you purchase as well. But typically for about 900 square feet to 1,000 square feet house, you're looking at perhaps $350 to about $450 per month. So the final cost that many people missed out on would be renovation costs. Now, if you're buying a resale, a lot of times maybe what the old owner has built is not really suitable for you. So you may want to remove everything, redo everything to your own flavor, depending on materials, depending on the items that you're changing. For example, the bathrooms, your price range could easily start as low as $50,000 upwards. And this is the reason why some people may consider buying a new launch instead, because you have new aircons, you have light points. All you need to do is just install your lights, install your curtains, paint some of the walls to a color that you prefer, and you can move in. For some people, they also find that this saves time, effort, and money, which is why they choose a new launch and they'd rather rent for a short period of time as well while waiting for the new launch. So ultimately, private property purchase really depends very much on your needs, whether you're buying it for own stay, immediately, in the near future, or even for investment purposes. We hope that this has been helpful for you. If you like a clearer idea in terms of your position and where to enter in the market in 2025, feel free to contact us. See you soon!